Welcome back. Now, journalists are still in Groutville, where the Annual Luthuli legacy is taking place. Chief Albert Luthuli was a South African teacher, activist, Nobel Peace Prize winner and politician. He was elected president of the African National Congress in 1952 and served until his accidental death. He was awarded the 1960 Nobel Peace Prize for his role in the non-violent struggle against apartheid. This walk is held annually to commemorate his birthday. We now cross back to Groutville, where our journalist Mthunzi is on standby. Mthunzi, good morning again. Now, what's currently taking place? Has the walk started?
Good morning again to Tabile as well as to our viewers at home. Yes, the walk has started. I've been walking myself and I'm very, very tired. But in the midst of all that, it's very, very cold, and I'm glad that thousands of people are out here at Groutville to commemorate the life of Chief Albert Luthuli. Most of them have actually braved the cold. But with me to tell me more about all this, I've got the grandson of Ubaba Chief Albert Luthuli, Mr. Mthunzi Luthuli, who will just briefly tell us more about this walk. Baba Mthunzi Luthuli, thank you very much for your time. Now, this walk is growing year and year. It's in its second year running. What are some of the values and the legacy left by Ubaba Chief Albert Luthuli?
Okay, the walk is in its third year. The legacies of Chief Luthuli are multifold. I think the first and probably his biggest contribution to South Africa is the fact that he actually internationalized the ANC and the South African struggle. When he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1960, he was the first person outside of Europe and America. So he wasn't just the first African, but the first person outside of Europe and America to be awarded the Nobel Prize. So it was a significant event. And for the first time in the history of this country, the world focused on what was happening in South Africa and lent its support to the struggles of the people of black people of this country. So I think that that's probably Chief Luthuli's greatest contribution and legacy in the history of this country. Obviously, there are others. For instance, he was a great leader in that he was able to groom other future leaders. So people like Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, Moses Kotane, Walter Sisulu, all of them served in his executive. And he was able to groom them, and they became great leaders themselves. So I think that's another big legacy and contribution that a lot of people actually don't realize. Yes.
Just before we recap, Baba Mthunzi Luthuli, you know, one of the reasons I brought you here today is because the ANC is holding its elective conference in the province of Gauteng as well as in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, the ANC has been going through an array of troubles and problems. When we understand that Ubaba Chief Albert Luthuli was a unifier, you know, he liked growing the ANC. He spoke of an ANC that would be united, an ANC that would move away from fractionalism. What would he do if he had to wake up here today and find the state that ANC is at it today?
Yes, firstly, I think he would be heartbroken to see the ANC being so divided. You know, at the very beginning of the formation of the ANC, the central theme was unity. It became clear to the leaders at that time that if we were going to be successful in fighting the white colonialist forces, it was important for us to unite. Instead of leading our struggles as Zulus, as Xhosas, as Sothos and Tswanas. So at the very core of it was unity. Not only along tribal lines, but along racial lines as well. So he would find it really difficult to deal with. I think our leaders today need to look back, because I think that there's a lot that can not only be learned, but that can inspire us, you know, to go back to our roots and to the good state that the ANC used to be in.
Thank you very much. That was Mthunzi Luthuli, the great grandson rather of Chief Albert Luthuli. Like I said earlier on, that the walk is going on at the moment, and there's also a 11.5 kilometer fun run as well, which is also continuing. And also, just to recap about what Mthunzi Luthuli said, he said that his grandfather was a unifier. You know, he looked beyond the tribal lines that were impacting the ANC. And also earlier on, when I had an interview with him, he said that the ANC faced its own troubles that time and its problems that time, and the ANC of today is also facing its own problems and trouble this time. But he also said that that should not be used as an excuse in order to further divide the ANC. But also, as I said earlier on, that we'll be bringing more information about this very fun run, and I myself, of course, will also be joining the fun run as well. Over back to you in studio.
Thank you very